Hey guys, it's Miss Tatum. Happy Friday. So we are going to do a quick review before you take an assessment because it's Friday. So again, we are focusing on the skill of making inferences and justifying our inferences using text evidence. So let's go ahead and get started. We are going to go back and look at this text that you read on Monday and Wednesday, and I'm going to be going over a practice problem of inferences. Just as a reminder, this text that you read was explaining the plague, different parts of the plague, and how the plague is still happening today. So I just want to go over the skill of inferencing. So when we see that a question is asking us to infer, there are going to be clue words, but we first need to determine if a question requires literal or inferential thinking. Again, literal thinking, that means that the answer is directly, it's explicitly stated in the text, and an inferential question is implied. Therefore, you're going to need to draw a conclusion. So you can identify these inferential words by some clue words. So if the question has words like conclude, infer, suggest, or illustrate, it is going to ask you to make an inference, okay? So when you've determined that it is an inferential question, you need to think, what evidence supports this claim? You first need to decide what the claim is, and you're going to watch me do this in a little bit. Then, once you've determined the claim, you are going to go find evidence in the text to support that claim, because if the text says this, then it might mean blank. So, on your exit ticket from Wednesday, many of us were struggling with this question. So, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide, is this an inferential question or a literal level question? So the question states, which sentence from the section bacteria causes plague conveys the idea that the plague can be treated? Okay, well, I can see that this, I'm going to go back to my thinking. Okay, conveys the idea. So it's giving the idea, an idea. This is a literal level question. So I also see that I'm going to have to pick a sentence from the section. So I'm already finding evidence to back up the claim, which the claim is that the plague can be treated. So I'm now going to go back to the text to reread it and see which evidence can show me that the plague can be treated. I'm going to have you pause the video and read this. And I want you to identify a sentence that shows that the plague can be treated. To treat something means, like, if I have strep throat, I could take medicine to treat my symptoms and cure me. All right, so I hope that you guys read this and you can see that the plague can be treated by some cheap, easy to find antibiotics that can fight plague, but they must be given quickly before the disease spreads. So, with that evidence in mind, I can see that there can only be one answer choice. Many of us were stuck on B. Lymph nodes are parts of the body's immune system. The immune system is meant to protect our body against diseases. While that is true, our lymph node is not curing or treating the plague. So D would be the only answer choice that makes sense. So this is a literal level question. Our claim is given to us. We just have to find evidence to support it. So as an effective reader, you must know that you have to find evidence in the text to support your claim. Many of us are not going back and rereading the text. Okay, so you must read the text first, and then when you're answering questions, you must go back and reread the text. Focus on keywords in the question so that we know what we are being asked. Go back to the text and make a claim and find evidence to support it. And then evaluate the answer choices based on the claim and evidence you have already found. Justify your answers using keywords. Explain how your evidence supports the answer you've selected. Okay? So again, here are the 4 keywords that you can decide whether a question is inferential or literal, and you must get evidence to support the claim. So I'm going to go over the steps of what you're going to do today. So the first thing that you're going to do is you are going to preview and predict your independent reading text for your assessment. And so you're going to be reading a text called Deadly Plague Sickens Fewer People These Days, but it's still out there. I asked you guys a question on Wednesday if the plague was still around. It very much is around. It's just not everywhere like it used to be. So you're going to read a article today about that, and the first thing that you need to do is preview and predict. So what I've noticed is that your predictions are not using keywords within the text feature. So please make sure that you're doing that, and I'm going to be grading you on that today. You are also going to be asked to ask one question, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is preview and predict. The second thing that you're going to do is you are going to read each section and identify central idea pop-out sentences. And then the last thing you're going to do is take an assessment, okay? So good luck. Please take your time and reread the text. Many of us are rushing through our work, and I've been returning it and giving you feedback, but you need to be reading the text and taking your time because I will be taking today's assessment as a grade. Please reach out to me if you guys have any questions. My phone number is usually in the instructions box, so please reach out to me if you need anything while taking the assessment. Have a good day and good luck.